play. I'm going to go with them. I just think they're just looking at the numbers. Looks like their imports are really solid. Parker seems to be really legit. His numbers are pretty phenomenal. And with Petrie, I just think size and that may be a factor. With Matty Rees, we're a bit undersized. He's going to have to play a lot of minutes. Petrie's a wily veteran. Diop, good size. I'm going to go with the Coast by 7.
Coast by 7. All right. I'm not going to make a prediction myself, buddy. I'm just going to hang you out to dry, but, you know.
I'm happy to be proven wrong. Happy to be proven wrong.
Is it like talking to Mick Conlon before the game? He said this is a massive game for him because not only ladder position, not only potential finals matchups, but they're on the road for a double this weekend. They're on the road for what he calls a double next weekend, which is, I think, Ipswich
15 Ks out of town.
Ipswich and Sunshine Coast or something like that. But it's still away from home for them, and they've been almost invincible in their Carrara Stadium. Since they've moved there, they haven't lost a game last year. So they want some value on the road tonight, though. So Townsville with their same starting group they had last week. We've got Wilshire, Tudehope, Mines, Anderson and Reese. And for Gold Coast out there, we have Rose, Parker, Petrie, Diop and Martin.
Going to be a really good battle in the point guard spot with Wilshire and Martin. There's some serious talent in that pairing.
So Reese rises up over Diop to get the scoring started for the Townsville Heat. And Gold Coast going straight to a zone out of bounds there. So we'll see what sort of matchups they're going to try and play. Coach Anderson said he wants to target them laterally defensively because he doesn't think they move that well.
Yeah, and I think Gold Coast they'll be happy to play a bit of zone, especially when PC's not in there. This group out there, I wouldn't say is a huge threat from outside. Mines is obviously someone, and you're not going to give Wilshire a look. And
he does get that look when Martin slips there and gets led off the hook by Wilshire missing that three. They find Diop inside. He kicks out. Moved on. Great rotation by the Townsville team to take away the shot. And now foul called on Reese on the closeout against Parker.
Townsville don't need Matty Rees getting in early foul trouble. That'll be a big hole if he has to sit any extended minutes.
It is the weakness on the Heat team, you know, the power that they've had inside the last couple of years with Justin Baker, Reese, Harry Frolling. You know, this year's group very different where they're more guard orientated. As Martin makes his first score, a nice little curl.
Mines will be hoping to get back on the board. He started the season on fire with the younger group, and he's just maybe adjusting, and that's a great start for him. He knocks down his first triple.
Yeah, look, having to adjust to Wilshire coming in and running the team, he obviously has his own way, which has been very successful for Townsville over the last couple of years. As we see, Rose misses with his first 3 attempts. Wilshire over the pick of Reese. He's no good as well, so Wilshire's still not able to find the bottom of the net.
He has struggled in the last couple of weeks with his shooting. He had a horror weekend down in Rocky. But, he'll be hoping to get a couple early to settle himself.
Foul called there on Keegan Tudehope.
Keegan's been great this year. He's actually one that's actually got better with age. He's a Mike St. Maurice red wine.
Charge called on Reese Martin. He's not happy with the call.
First points go to Wilshire in that battle.
It is a mouth-watering battle, those two. You know, like Martin, who's been around the NBL for a number of years, and I know that there's some people in Townsville particularly that believe Wilshire should get given an NBL opportunity at some point. Mines launches for another 3. It's no good.
Yeah, no, there's definitely been an opportunity there for a team to put Wilshire in there as a backup. He wouldn't let you down, that's for sure.
Parker makes a nice finish at the rim for 2. Both teams just, getting into their rhythm here at the moment. Nothing too flashy either end. Tudhope under good pressure from Petrie misses. And Wilshire with the O board gets fouled by Diop. They will call that a shooting foul, and Wilshire will go to the line for 2 shots.
This might be a chance for Wilsh to get a nice sighter early on. A couple of free throws early.
Just to see the ball go through the net sometimes makes a little bit of difference.
It's a good feeling when you're on a run of outs.
Converts both and gives Townsville back the lead. Now speaking about Rose, as Martin launches a 3, it's no good with Coach Mick Conlon before the game. He tells me that Adelaide kind of had him on the radar a little bit for their NBL season, and Joey Wright gave him the heads up, so seen as that calibre of a player, and was apparently on track through high school to go to a big school, go to Kentucky and possibly do a one and done before going to the NBA, but blew his knee out, so then had to take a different journey and plays in the G League.
Yeah, well, he's putting up some good solid numbers, and if Joey's a good scout, he can pick talent, so he's obviously got something there if he's been on their radar.
Great strength by Parker there, just out-muscling Mines. Gets a putback, and we'll see the first change for Townsville with Crawford coming into the game for Anderson. Look at Reece Martin here, Ward, who's just working the referee this whole break, just trying to make sure he gets his call next time.
It took him all of 2 or 3 minutes, and he's working him already.
That's what veteran point guards do, though, don't they?
Well, he feels like he's down 1-0 against Wilshire after the charge, so he's going to be asking for everything.
Wilshire, nice kick out to Mines for 3. It's contested by Parker, but it's good.
Solid start by Mines. He looks ready to go.
Rose kicks out to Petrie. His 3. It's long. Tudhope with the rebound, but we'll see a foul called here on Gold Coast on Diop.
That's his second, so that's too early for him. Great box out by Tudhope, undersized down there.
And that forces Conlon into his first change, and we see the veteran Thalo Green come in while Diop takes a seat. Crawford on the kick out. Lucky took a deflection, but Wilshire comes up with the ball. Mines against Rose. Nice little attack. Right hand floater is good.
He looks on song, Mines. He's going to give them some trouble.
Actually noticed a little bit of tape on his right thumb by the look of it there, Wardy. So
yeah, on the right hand. That's not good as a shooter, but it hasn't affected him so far.
Veteran offensive rebound, Green. Just knew where to get to, used his body well, and nice putback. Mines gets to the rim again. It's fouled by Green, makes the 2, and will go to the foul line for the M1. Mines looks like he's in a mood.
He is looking a threat every time he touches the ball.
Substitution here, Anderson coming back in for Tudhope. So by the looks of it, you'll see Anderson playing as the 4-man now alongside Reece. Gold Coast just turn out plays out of those pin downs. Nothing there for Parker. He kicks back out to Martin, who'll call for a ball screen.
Down to 6. Martin's got to get busy. Good kick out.
Finds Green for 3. It's off, but Martin gets the O board. Now Gold Coast power game through. Parker, no good. Green again competitive on the glass. That'll be Gold Coast ball as Mines tries to save it from going out of bounds.
Thalo been really active in his first minute or two here. He's had a touch on 2 or 3 offensive boards, kept it alive. That's what you want out of your vets.
Now see another substitution for Gold Coast. Martin goes to the bench for his first break, and Jared Eustace comes into the game. Petrie against Reese in the low block. Petrie spins back baseline. Good for 2. Nice quick move.
Veteran finish.
Wilshire attacking Eustace. Little reach-in foul going to be called here on Rose. That's his first foul.
It hasn't been up and down as such, but they're putting some points on the board. It's going to be a fairly on target for close to 30 for the quarter.
And you're obviously here, checked out the women's game first. Wardy, what were your thoughts? Dominant second half from the Flames?
Yeah, they felt like Gold Coast just stopped in the second half. I thought their point guard looked really dangerous in the opening half. She looked like she was going to give them all sorts of trouble, but they found a way to stop her in the second half, and in the end, I think talent just showed through, and they had a solid win.
Rose kicks onto Eustace. Shot clock starting to run low. Stripped by Mines. Nice little feed to Wilshire in transition. Makes the 2. I think he wanted the M1 there. And now Gold Coast come back 3-on-2. And Green from the corner 3. It's no good. And here's his tempo starting to speed up, Wardy.
Yep. Anderson, good extra pass. PC, plenty of time and space. That's almost automatic.
As Townsville now get out to a game-high 6-point lead.
Probably a poor shot from Green down the other end. A 3-ball pretty quick after a score at the other end.
Gold Coast just a little loose in their last possession. Shot clock running low again. Rose will be forced into a pull-up. No, kicks to Petrie for the 3 on the buzzer is good.
That's a great extra pass.
Both teams doing a great job just finding the open shooter right now. Anderson long 2. Now we're starting to see this push.
Yep. Petrie's going to transition.
Leaves it to Parker to launch a 3, and he's now hit a 3. And we're at 21 apiece with 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Parker shooting 45% on the season from 3-point line. He is rock solid and above 50 from 2, so he's very efficient in what he does.
Wilshire finds Anderson open for 3. He knocks it down. If you like your 3-point shooting, you'll be enjoying this game so far.
And one guy that's not liking is Mickey Conlon. He was not happy about that one uncontested.
Obviously broke their defensive rule on that first ball screen, which led to Anderson being so open. And he did talk to me about that before the game. He thought whichever team played more disciplined at the defensive end was going to win this game.
Yeah, I think it's clear to see that both teams are packed with some scoring punch. So I think that the team that knuckles down and buys into the defense is probably going to go a long way to winning this one. Nice
hand in there from Green. Just gets a deflection on Wilshire's pass. Eustace for the quick 2. A little out of control. Now Townsville will come back in transition. Wilshire gets to the rim against Green.
So
makes
crafty.
2. Now Townsville sitting in a 2-3 zone, Carl.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to give up a 3-ball, and Parker's just flat shot. No arc on it, but he drains nothing at the bottom.
Going to be a risky game to play a zone for either team, you would think. Couple of possessions left in this first quarter. Reese finds Crawford open at the top. Nice little step around after a fake for three. Another three for Townsville through PC.
Yeah. Beautiful pump fake from PC. Painted move. Been doing it for years, and you wonder why they still jump. There we go. Matty Reeves isolated. Oh, Parker again, and he makes it and fouled. He's going to go to the line for a bonus from the 4-point play.
Foul called on Mines, just a little too eager on that closeout. I can understand why he would be after Parker's been raining threes. So for this last possession, you'll see a couple of changes for Townsville. Betts and Todd coming into the game. Mines and Reese getting this little extension of a 3/4 time break, or a quarter time break, I should say. We don't want the game to be gone that quick, do we?
No, it's just starting to heat up.
Parker converts, and Gold Coast tied up at 29 apiece. As Townsville look to take the last shot of this first quarter. Anderson now the quick on ball, gets her in beautifully. Finds Todd with the pass, but the foul was called first. It'll be called on Gold Coast, number 14, Jaden Tom. My apologies, the score just updated. Gold Coast actually hit the lead with that last free throw. Wilshire ties it up. The substitution for this last possession, Wilshire just gets his break extended by 4 seconds while Fig comes into the game.
Interested to see who the Gold Coast go to here in 4 seconds. Nothing special, just get it up as quick as they can, and they're going to try and, Eustace is going to let it fly. Got a good look at it, rim's out.
So a quarter time, great high scoring first quarter to this game. And across the country, heavily involved with the Commonwealth Games, and for those out there who are supporters of the sport in this state, please go and look up. I'm sure there's probably some links on some Facebook pages and things like that. There's a GoFundMe campaign out there to try and help her with a severe breast cancer treatment. So our thoughts are with Narelle and her family, and hopefully the basketball community can get behind and rally behind her. And I know she means a lot to Gold Coast basketball as well.
Yeah, well said, Mark. She has been someone who's been the backbone of BQ, in recent years. So yeah, any support that be given will be much appreciated. And I'm sure she'll get that too. She's very popular amongst all the associations across the state.
So back to the basketball on the court, and Townsville in this extended zone. They've stayed with those subs they made, so a little bit of a bench group out there for Townsville right now. See if Gold Coast can take advantage of that. Mind you, they've got a lot of their rotation players in too, where you see Salicic in for his first minutes coming out of quarter time as well.
It didn't take long, 50 seconds, and we got Petrie back in. He's going to give Thalo a rest. He gave some good quality minutes there, Thalo.
So Thalo with 2 fouls. That's possibly why he's gone to the bench. Because he's been solid around the rim and just little rebounding efforts.
I was just looking at his numbers before the game. I was interested to see, because I'm sure he's nudging 40. And his efficiency's been fantastic. He's shooting above 50%. And yeah, those boards, just keeping the ball alive, not necessarily racking up a stat for it.
Crawford's no good with his contested 3. You see Parker come back down the other end. Nice floater through the lane for 2.
He's up to 19, and he has started where he left off.
Crawford finds Fig, who steps out of bounds.
Saw that happen in the women's game earlier. People stepping out of bounds. I still don't get it. Those lines haven't changed.
And they don't move either, do they?
They don't move between games.
Sometimes you feel like they move.
That's when you're getting greedy for the 3 ball and you're just edging out there too far.
Martin back into the game for the Gold Coast. Try and get some control back in through the tempo they want to play. Gets into the seam beautifully. Nice kick out to Salicic for 3 in the corner. No good. Nice screen by Todd at the elbow there, and rewarded with the roll to the rim, and great pass by Betts to find him. Martin got his cage rocked a little bit there.
He did. That would have shook him up a little.
I'm sure he might have something to say to somebody at the next whistle about communication on screens.
And we see Parker slice through the middle again. He's got 21. And with 7 to go in the second quarter.
So I'm pretty sure Mick told me Lithuania he's been playing in before he came here.
Well, that'd suggest he can play a little bit.
Yep. Betts is no good, was asking for the foul, but leads to a Gold Coast transition score again to Parker. A little bit lucky as Crawford got a tip on the pass, but he took it and made another 2.
You make your own luck in this game, and
he's making a lot of it right now.
He's making a lot of it, and someone needs to get busy. Someone needs to put their hand up on that Townsville bench and say, I want the assignment.
So see substitutions coming in all over the place here for Gold Coast. Rose is coming back into the game for Townsville. 3 starters coming back in, Mines, Wilshire and Tudehope. And I think Tudehope would be the one I'd be giving the job to Parker, but Parker's going to just rest his hand for a little bit and, you know.
pace the team. So maybe him or maybe Rose sees an opportunity when his brother's out of the game to take over a little bit. I thought Petrie may actually do some damage down in the paint a bit more and look to throw it inside.
Mines turns down the first look, but great movement by Townsville. Wilshire finds Tudo open for 2 late in the shot clock.
Great pass from Wilshire. Townsville back into man.
Eustace versus Tudo.
Nice
turnaround is no good. Wilshire just committing lots of players out of his on-ball screens at the moment, then able to move the ball on.
He's just always probing. He's always at you. You can't take a rest at all.
Finds Reese on the kick out. He's no good, but Mines gets a hand on the O-board. Townsville finds Reese under the rim. Big block by Petrie. Nice extra movement by Gold Coast. Lee Salicic open. He knocks down the 3 in the corner.
He's got a nice quick release, Salic. He just gets rid of it. He's ready to shoot. He knows what he wants. Takes it when it's there.
Reese looking to go to work on Petrie. Skip almost gets stolen, but Mines ends up with it for 3. He's good for 3.
On any other night, he's my current MVP, but unfortunately, Parker's got him in this one at this stage. But Jono having a fantastic shooting night.
Rose, nice attack at the rim. Just Townsville wasn't quite geared up with their help D there, and he made them pay. Betts just probes against the Gold Coast zone. They're just working these gaps and trying to find their openings. Tudo open at the elbow for 2.
Too easy.
Just did a good job there. Those little probing dribbles, sucking the guards in, just opened up that space in the high part of the zone. Eustace forces that, asking for the foul, but great defense by Tudo there.
Yeah, that was a poor shot. They didn't need that. They needed to run a set, get a good look at it. Oh, Betts, plenty of space.
Yeah, look, Salicic didn't know what to do there. He had Mines in the corner. Thought he better honour that D assignment, and Betts took advantage of it.
Yeah. Coach Conlon, he wouldn't be happy with that. That's 2 buckets in a row where they've just found space in 5 feet.
You see him walk straight to the bench. He wants a timeout to have a chat about what's going on. Rose makes it 2, and another lead change, just lead change after lead change right now in a ding-dong battle.
Offense is definitely winning this battle at the moment.
Mines exploring his option. Nice skip across the zone to Betts. Wilshire explores. That's going to be a foul called on Martin. Thought he had position, but definitely caught in the air. Substitution, Anderson coming back into the game for Betts, but we've got a timeout going Gold Coast way. And Gold Coast...
At all. I mean, we're at 42-43 with 4 minutes left to play in the second quarter, so we're getting to 100 here, both teams.
Back underway with Townsville with the ball.
Gold Coast staying in this zone.
Nice little set with some good movement. Almost found Wilshire open, but off the penetration, he gets through the seam. Left hand, hook 4-2.
Coach Conlon asking for the hook. He does have a tendency, I think it's because he's left-handed, it just looks awkward, but I'm not sure he actually hooked. It's just...
Look, if you call that hook, you call him. He just puts Rose under pressure, gets the foul called, makes it to him, will go to the foul line for the extra shot.
That's his second personal.
Substitution for Gold Coast. Their main man, Parker, coming back into the game. Rose goes to the bench with that foul. Coach Conlon playing a little conservative. 2 fouls, wants to make sure he probably protects that third foul before half-time.
Rose wasn't happy either. He was saying, it's only 2, it's only 2. I'm all right.
I like that decision, though. Like, the game's, nothing's blown out right now. He wants him on the court late in the game.
Yep. Martin.
Foul called there on
Martin. Offensive foul. That's a big call because I think that's 3 on Martin.
And Rose is going to be forced to come straight back in now. He gets his wish. Martin probably doesn't want his. So Townsville by 4. 2 minutes 45 to go in the first quarter. Jude Hope finds Anderson wide open for the 3 in the corner, and it's another 3 knocked down. And that's the 50 for Townsville with 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
I just feel like this little 2-minute period is going to be big for the Coast here. They need to sort of hang on. They've lost their way a little bit, down 7. You wouldn't want this to eke into double figures going into the half.
Foul will be called here on Anderson, just riding through off that screen into the hip of Parker.
Rod's just getting a warning.
There's a warning for Coach Anderson for arguing with that call. To be honest, Rodney, I thought it was probably a fairly solid call.
Yeah, there's nothing to argue about there, but just feels good for Rod.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to have that little vent as a coach.
Peach, a great pass. Diop goes upstairs. Brings it back to 5.
Great quick movement here. Wilshire just exploring. Oh, he missed Reese inside there for a tick. But he ends up with a foul call, and this is going to be on Rose. So he does get his 3rd foul.
Yeah.
Conlon not happy with that. And we're going to see Eustace come back into the game now. Rose having a discussion with the players on the Townsville bench. Jared Figg's never quite wanting to have a discussion.
Yeah, I thought he was a little stiff there. I think Wilshire was a little bit out of control and lost his footing a little and sort of stumbled into the bodies. But when you're on 2 with a minute, 2 fouls with a minute to go in the half, you probably don't need to be putting yourself in that situation. So he's going to learn the hard way. And that leaves him a little skinny with Rose and Martin, both with 3 fouls before half time.
A bit of head shaking going on the Gold Coast bench at the moment as well. I don't think they're exactly enamoured with the performance that the referees are doing right now, but as we talked about before the game, we don't have hometown refs going on tonight, so I would have thought, and it is different. You know, you've played in the State League. You have referees from all different associations. As much as the referee educators try and get them all on the same page, you get the game different called in different parts of the state. So
yeah, no, it's always been the same, and it'll continue to be that way.
Eustace almost turns over there. I don't think Diop was expecting that ball. Petrie wanted it in the post, but Parker said, mate, I've got the hot hand, let me go.
I'd just be getting the ball to Parker for a minute 30 here and just saying, get us to the halftime break.
Reese kick across for Crawford for 3. I think Parker got a tip on that. And now unsportsmanlike foul called on Crawford. It was just a grab of Parker to try and stop him getting away in transition. So we'll see Gold Coast with 2 shots and possession here. A little frustration from Crawford there.
Yeah, no, it was a poor shot, and then he followed it up with a foul. And you don't want to be sending Parker, who's already as hot as they come, and just give him a bonus 2.
Cool Parker there was. Gold Coast just taking their time, a little huddle. The referee blew the whistle to try and hurry him up a bit, and he just looked at the ref and put his hands down. Just calm down, ref, you know.
We're playing at my pace, and it's working.
Yeah, I like it.
He has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal this first half. It's not textbook out of the hand, but it's very efficient.
Doesn't need to be textbook if it goes in as much as it does.
That's it.
Another foul called on Townsville, called on Reese here as Salicic tries to get to the rim. Only the 4th foul on Townsville, so it'll be Gold Coast ball, base out of bounds here. Substitution for Townsville, Jackson Todd coming into the game, Matty Reese. They're going to sit him with 2 fouls just to try and protect that 3rd foul for them. Eustace out of control, tried to turn the corner. Townsville come up with the ball. No, great save by Wilshire. He finds Crawford wide open for 3. Nothing but net. Townsville extend the lead to 6.
That was a great heads-up play from Wilsh.
Conlon arguing with it, but I don't know what he's arguing with.
I think that's just a frustration argument. He'd be more disappointed his players didn't.
Salicic knocks down the 3. 55 to 52, 40 seconds to go in the second quarter.
That's right, people. It's the second quarter, not the end of the third.
Now another foul called on Diop. Wilshire draws yet another foul. He just gets through those screens, uses his crab, dribbles, backs into players, and puts players under pressure.
Just great use of the hesitation.
So that's 3rd foul for Diop now as well. So fouls racking up for players all over the shop. Conlon talked about that. He said he's got great depth on his team. He's going to be relying on it, I think.
I wonder if Scotty McGregor bought his shoes at all, because he may get the call up the way this thing's going.
Wilshire knocks down both. Parker looking for the last shot, no, last Gold Coast shot of the quarter, you would think. No good from the elbow. And Townsville probably with the last shot of this first quarter now. Anderson for 3. As the clock expires, it's good. And Townsville lead at half-time, 60 to 52.
Mickey Conlon making a beeline to the referees.
Now, Wardy, maybe if you can just rattle through some stats. I'm going to try and get down to halfway and see if I can grab Coach Anderson for a quick
So we even consider a box and one, Toronto style. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think we'll probably do that, but we've got to do something differently against him. So let's see if we can keep him in front and contest the shot.
Perfect. Good luck in the second half, Rod. All right, Mick, look, 52 points for you, good. 60 for them, no good.
Horrible. I wanted to keep them to 80 for the game, and I don't think we've got 10 a quarter left in us, so we'll aim for 85 for the rest of the game. They're shooting 6% from three-point line, but they're running a simple middle on ball, and we're not guarding it. Our bigs are ball watching, and then they're late to the action. He's getting in, throwing his head around, getting the calls, and it's as simple as that.
Wilshire's just doing a good job. We talked about it in commentary, getting in, backing up then on the big or backing up on the guard and getting the calls. So I think 11 free throws for him so far. Any change of scheme on the ball screens or?
They can start talking and start actually playing, but yeah, we're going to change a couple of things on what we do. We were trying to hedge it, then ice it. We were looking at different things. We just need to be more aggressive. The big stays connected on the body on the way up and communicates. We don't have to switch everything and play out of it.
Good luck in the second half, mate.
Yeah, and that's why we've got such a high-scoring game. So, like we mentioned earlier, the team that locks in and decides to do a job. I just think Gold Coast, you know, the foul trouble may come back and hurt them here because, you know, they're shallow in the guard depth once Martin and Rose are not out there. So it's going to be really interesting. They would want to pick up a cheap one early.
Look, the coaches aren't happy with it, but I'm loving it. If I was a coach, I wouldn't be liking it myself either, but, you know.
As a spectator, a viewer, that's what we love.
And I'm sure there's plenty of fans out there loving it as well. And give a shout out. Someone flicked through one of the messages at halftime saying they're enjoying the work you're doing tonight, Wardy, from Ian Horton in Mackay.
Yep, shout out to Coach Horton.
So Mines launches his first three after halftime. Gold Coast went under the screen. He's launched it, knocked down.
And nothing's changed since the first half, so that halftime talk.
Well, that makes me happy that nothing's changed. Martin gets to the seam. No good over good pressure from Tudo. Now Wilshire launches the three. Green contest late. So a little change there, obviously, for the starting groups out here. See Thalo Green in instead of Diop for Gold Coast. Townsville have gone back out with the group they started the game with.
Yeah, I thought Green was really good in the first half, and I just looked at his minutes, and he only played the 6 minutes in the first half. So I think
probably all in the first quarter.
Yeah, so I think definitely needs to play a few more minutes if he can give what he gave in that early part.
Wilshire against Green. They switched on the on-ball screen. Wilshire gets to the rim. Green throws his hands up, doesn't know what he did wrong. I've got to be honest, I don't know what he did wrong there either.
That was extremely soft, but that was always going to end badly with Thalo guarding Wilsh. I mean, those older legs, Wilsh is hard to contain at the best of times, so they're really going to do something with that. I would have been, you were mentioning the box and one possibly with...
for Townsville doing it.
Townsville doing it. I'd be... Yeah, I just don't know whether Gold Coast has got anyone that they can actually sool onto Wilshire, but I'd be trying to take the ball out of his hands more, because while he's got the ball in his hands, he's causing all sorts of trouble.
12 from 12 now from the foul line for Wilshire.
We might be seeing some records here tonight. Parker's been extremely efficient, and Wilsh the same for the other end.
Martin, nice curl off the stagger screen, finds Parker. Comes the pull-up jumper, shoots it, knocks it down. Again, foul called on Anderson here, and Parker will go to the foul line.
He almost plays the game in slow motion. There's no urgency about him at all. He just floats. He does everything at his own speed, and it is just efficient.
It's not explosive, no, is it?
No.
And Townsville with an 11-point lead here early in the second half. Gold Coast needing to knuckle down and get some stops. There's their first one. Forced turnover, just Reese loses the handle on it. Green at the other end in transition, good for two.
Way to run the floor.
Good reward for the old man Green getting there.
Yeah, first down the floor, Parker, heads up play. Thalo with a strong finish.
Anderson for three from the corner. It's good. 69 points for Townsville, 2 minutes into the second half. Rose for three. It's good. Back the other way.
Are you sure those coaches spoke to their teams at halftime? Because I'm not seeing a whole lot different. Both coaches talking up, defense, and we need to slow things down in 20-point and 10-point quarters. That just ain't happening.
Lions at the other end, another 40. Do we stop this game and just have a big game of on the rack, or?
This is this is pure shooting basketball at its best.
Parker, he misses. He does miss. Missed on his little short-handed runner. Now Wilshire slows down a little bit. They work through Reese in the post. Nice kick. Oh. Great D by Martin. Great call by the referee.
That's two quick ones on Jamal too in this thing, so he must have he's up to three.
Yep. Martin just picked the move exactly then, and it was great D.
And this will be interesting to see if Coach Anderson continues Jamal guarding Parker here on three, and it looks like he's going to.
Petrie against Reese. Gets back onto that baseline right hand again. Look after some of the contact on some of the drives. Maybe a foul there, but Mines from the corner for three at the other end. Anderson gets the O-board tip. Now Townsville through. Wilshire at the top, launches the three. It's good. Rose finds Parker. Good extra pass for Petrie. He's open for three. No good, and a foul's going to be called here, I think, on Matthew Reese.
Matty Reese, yep.
On the rebounding contest. Thalo Green just doing a great job at selling that contact.
That's exactly right. That is a veteran foul there.
We'll see Jackson Todd come into the game now for Matthew Reese with 3 fouls. Coach Anderson playing it safe with him. Green just keeps it alive, but then kicks it to Parker, who steps out of bounds. Those lovely moving lines that you like, Woody.
Yeah, it's a bugbear of mine.
Love a moving line.
13-point lead. It's it's at a stage now. Gold Coast need to start reeling this back in. Just nice
Lob
alley-oop.
to Anderson. He misses it first, misses a putback as well. And now another foul called on Townsville. Thalo Green active on the boards, and Jackson Todd just getting a hand in there.
And that's 14 fouls early for Townsville. So Gold Coast into the bonus. 6 minutes remaining in the third. They can get some cheap points here at the line.
Parker drags Todd away from the rim. And he's called for the offensive. I can't agree with that call, sorry. I didn't think that was there at all, and I think Parker very unlucky with that call. Thankfully for him, that's only his first foul of the game.
Yeah, no, that was a tough call. Trust me, Parker doesn't need to be hooking against when he's got Jackson Todd that far away from the hoop.
And just a slight delay, not sure. Something on the floor down there.
A bit of chewing gum or something on the bottom of the shoe. I'm surprised Gold Coast haven't gone into Petrie more, especially with Rees out. I'd be getting some looks inside if I could, as Shoot Hope with a nice little foul line jumper.
Lovely little set, just curl around, flash up through the elbow there. Parker on the attack, gets the rim. It's no good. Follow-up's no good either. And it'll be Townsville ball. Timeout called here by the Gold Coast Rollers, trailing 77-62. Uh, 5 minutes to go in the quarter. I think Townsville were in that foul situation early, so
yeah, get the ball inside and make them commit, make the refs make a call, and if you can get a couple of cheap points, the clock stops, and you can whittle this thing back down to under 10 by three-quarter time would be their aim, I would think, from Coach Conlon.
Wilshire launches the three over Martin's hand. It's no good. And now Parker, great find. Great push through the seam.
And Thalo Green just knows where to be. That's twice now in the last 2 or 3 minutes that he's found himself on the end of a great Parker assist.
Almost didn't have his hands up in time then.
That nearly caught him out.
Tudope at the other end. Nice pass by Anderson.
Gold Coast can't get back into this if they're going to give up that sort of stuff. They need to knuckle down.
Parker finds Green open on the perimeter. He overcooks it. But Petrie gets the O board and fouled on the putback. Fouled by Mines here, and Petrie will go to the line for an M1.
And that might be just a little spark they need to try and eat into this 15-point margin.
Diop coming into the game for great contribution by Green. He's getting a rest here. And for Townsville, Betts and Crawford come in Anderson and Wilshire to the bench.
So right now with these two groups on, with Diop and Petrie, they've got a distinct size advantage down there in the block with only Jackson Todd and Keegan playing that 4 spot undersized. They definitely need to go in and try and earn some paint points.
It's an opportunity almost open here just for a little run with these two groups out there. Mines launches the 3. It's no good, and Gold Coast opportunity just to eat into the lead a little bit more. Martin Smart just working through Diop as a trailer. Pulls up for the 2. No good, but Petrie, there you go.
That's
big
that
boy.
Size. Yep.
Going man up inside Gold Coast through Petrie.
I think Martin almost needs to play a bit of a Wilshire role and be more aggressive as he picks up a steal and Martin's off. He's got Parker on the trail and
rims in and out, and you'll see another foul called here on Diop. Just little hand in on the O board. That's going to hurt Gold Coast because that'll be his 4th foul now. It's going to force Coach Conlon. He's not reacting straight away. And he's going to roll the dice here and basically just go, well, go and play, young fella. And
well, I think the natural thing would be to bring Thalo in, but he's only just come out and had a minute's rest, so he's probably thinking, I'll just let Diop try and get into it because he actually hasn't been in the game at all.
Mines missed on the layup. Parker, big O board, and then another foul called on Mines. So that's Mines' 4th foul now too. So pressure coming on some players all over the place here. Mines will come back to the bench. And Wilshire coming back into the game. And we'll see Gold Coast walk the length of the floor now to try and get this back to single digits.
Jono doesn't believe he's got 4.
Well, he's picked up those quick 2.
Yeah.
And just looking at the stats at halftime, he had 2 at halftime, so.
And Coach Anderson just clearing the score table. Handy replacement in Wilshire coming in for Mines, so they don't lose anything there.
So the lead's back to single digits.
That's PC wide open in the corner for 3, and he does what PC does and knocks down another triple.
Is there a better player in the league just coming in off the bench? Cool as a cucumber and go and knock down a 3?
No.
Parker just going to work on bats, lots of hesitation moves, ends up making the 2. He wants the M1 too.
He does too, and just 1 on 4, and he made it look pretty simple, as he has done all night.
Bats into the seam. Floater's no good, tip around, no good either. Salicic decides to pull it out, finds Martin. Martin kick out to Eustace in the corner. He knocks down 3, back to 7.
Good decision by Martin. I thought Petrie was the option, but he went to Eustace and he didn't let him down. And this thing's back to 7. And this is the little run Gold Coast had to have. And Anderson going back to Jamal Anderson to come back in the game. He's seen enough for this lead from 15 to 7. And
Wilshire knocks down the 3 to get it back to 10. Salicic probably didn't do too much wrong defending that, but just a good shot by Wilsh.
Parker against Todd. This is a mismatch. He should beat him off the dribble.
So that was absolutely no different to the foul that was called before on Parker.
I was just going to mention that looked exactly the same.
Wilshire for 3 in transition back the other way. It's no good. Salicic comes up with the defensive board. Now Parker on the attack. There's going to be a blocking foul called here on Petrie off the ball. He's not happy with that at all.
I didn't get a good look at it, but he definitely changed his running angle. But whether he retarded Tudope, I'm not sure. I'd say Keegs may have played it up a little. And
May have put a little bit of mustard on it, just, you know.
It's a veteran move.
More mustard on it than the hot dog that I saw upstairs before. Wilshire out of the high ball screen. Oh, blocked by Parker.
What a great read from Parker.
Well, Wilsh was never passing that though, was he?
No. Once he turns the corner going left like that, it was easy to read, but you still got to have the ability to block it.
Crawford for three. It's no good, but tip-in is good by Anderson. Martin wants the ball in the post against Wilshire. Spins baseline. Nice move for two.
Big 40 seconds here.
Conlon yelling at his troops to rebound on the defensive end. He's sick of seeing no boards. Crawford for three. It is net. He copped a little clip across the mouth, I think, on that shot. Nothing called. We've got a 6-second differential shot clock and game clock here. Eustace finds Salicic in the corner. With 10 seconds left, Townsville will have the opportunity, up 13, to extend their lead. Crawford's going to have the last shot, another three, it rims out. And at three-quarter time, the Townsville Heat lead the Gold Coast Rollers 90-77.
The defensive authority, so I'd suggest that the defense hasn't been great, but it has opened up a free-flowing game of basketball. It's been pretty enjoyable from up here, so I'm not going to hold any grudges against any of these guys for maybe taking the foot off the pedal on D.
Look, I know that there's probably a lot of Townsville fans at home. A little bit of a cold snap up in Townsville at the moment, maybe warmed up at home watching on a TV or watching the stream and hopefully enjoying that. But I'll tell you what, you should be in the stadium tonight because this has just been an outstanding display of basketball by both teams, really. Gold Coast away that.
He's back out there now, so he's a chance to maybe get something going.
You got any leading scorers there at three-quarter time, Woody?
At three-quarter time, we have Parker leading all scorers with 34 on 12 of 20 shooting. So he's lighting it up for the Gold Coast, and for Townsville, Wilsh has 28 of his own, and John O'Mines is on 19. So. There's some big numbers out there which you would expect in a high-scoring game like this. So Parker goes down the middle looking to add to his tally.
Salicic declines a three. Looks to take it inside. Gets at the rim for two. Misses, but put back is good by Jaden Tom.
And that's the start that Gold Coast are after, just to get that first bucket. Townsville with almost a full-strength line-up out there. Betts is in instead of Rees. Whereas Gold Coast have got a couple of youngsters out there.
Yeah, interesting play, Rees, isn't it? Like, he's got the 3 fouls, but I suppose they've got some control with the group they've been playing with. So,
well, they withstood that one run. Gold Coast cut it from 15 to 7.
Crawford's good for 2 on a reverse layup.
And that's just been the problem all night for the Gold Coast. They haven't been able to just get back-to-back stops.
Spencer Parker, another 2.
Just keeps on keeping on. Takes himself up to a game-high 36.
Nice find from Betts. Jude Hope on the weak side, open for the 2-point layup. Rose attacks Wilshire. Has to retreat out, but isolated now on the wing. Poor choice of pass on. Crawford gets a steal, but then Crawford turns it over to Parker. Oh, Parker, a little stumble there, maybe slip. But he's left open now. Kicks to Rose for 3. No good, but Parker tips it to nobody. Tips it to the crowd, and it'll be Townsville ball. I'm glad he's jumped up quickly after what looked like he might have rolled the ankle there, though.
Yeah, it could have been nasty, but it was obviously just...
I don't want to see him sitting on the bench. I want to see him still out on the court.
I'd like to see him go for 50 just from as a personal thing, but he's 36 points. It's been a hell of an effort and he's sort of been a one-man band, to be honest, tonight. He hasn't had a whole lot of support. And
Wilshire shakes Thalo Green out of his boots and knocks down the 3.
And the bench love it. As good as Parker's been, Wilshire has been his equal at the other end. He's caused a lot of trouble early with his penetration.
Rose no good with his attack at the rim. Jude Hope just walled up beautifully there. Little tip though out of bounds, and it is Gold Coast ball. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Trailing by 16, they really need to make a play sometime in the next 2 minutes. Try and get this back to single digits and get some confidence. Saljic blocked by Betts. Crawford, little hesitation, then finds Wilshire open for 3. It's no good. Eustace on the attack will get rewarded with 2 free throws. Betts a little unlucky there?
A little. He didn't do too much wrong, but...
You get asked that question by the referees all the time. What did the defence do wrong?
Yeah, no, he's been impressive actually, Eustace. I don't know much about him, but he's shown some signs here, and he's had to step up in the absence of Martin and Rose early on when they were in foul trouble.
And Parker to the bench right here, just not exactly sure. It must be just a minute or so blow, try and recharge the batteries.
Well, I hope so. I wouldn't think that Mick's conceded. I mean, they're down 14. It's 7 minutes remaining. I wouldn't think you concede. I know they do travel tomorrow and got to play back up again against Cairns, but I'd like to think that they still see themselves in with a chance here. Like I said, a couple of quick buckets, and here's one to start them off.
Eustace knocks down the 3. It's back to 11.
And you can see Parker, he's actually mopping the floor while he's having his...
He squirted his water bottle on the floor as he walked towards the bench and did a little clean up. Clean up on aisle 2.
And we see Matty Rees coming back into the game.
So Rees in for Betts, and the last play, just a little deflection by, I think it was Rose, put the ball out of bounds. And we'll see a timeout here. Who's Tom, Green, Petrie and Salicic out there. Sorry, Jays Morris is out there, not Tom.
Bring some fresh legs. Oh, that's a great tip in, Matty Rees. That was big.
Welsh missed with the first, but yeah, as you said, lovely activity from Matty Rees. Gold Coast find Petrie off the roll. Banks it for 2. Timmy Duncan style out there.
Yeah. Never looked like missing.
Wilshere, obviously a little bit of miscommunication with Townsville, what they're wanting to run. Reese back to Crawford. Stripped there by Salicic, but it'll be Townsville ball with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Anderson attacks the hoop, finds Wilshere as the shot clock expires. It's no good.
They dodged a bullet there, the Gold Coast.
You don't want to give shots that open, do you? Petrie for 3. Nothing but net, and it's back to single digits, Wardy.
Yep, well this is the run. They've got to weather this. 8 points. And Peastrie's looking aggressive for the first time tonight, really. He's actually looking to put some points on the board. It may be too late, but...
Reese from the top of the keyway. It's good for 2.
That just feels like the pattern all night. Gold Coast look like they're going to sneak back into it, but Townsville, just with a good steadying bucket, put them on the back foot again.
Petrie against Anderson. Petrie just muscles up and pushes inside. It's no good, and Townsville come up with the defensive board.
Probably poor shot selection there from Petrie. Really forced that issue there.
Crawford finds Anderson on the lob. Goes upstairs and throws it down.
And Conlon points to Parker and says, son, we need you, and we need you now.
Rose attacks Wilshere while Taylor Green just fumbles it underneath the rim. Townsville through Mines. Foul will be called on Petrie, and Mines will go to the foul line for 2. Tudope coming back into the game for Townsville. We'll see Crawford to the bench, and Martin and Parker come back in for Gold Coast. Salicic and Green coming to the bench.
So you'd suggest with that substitution that this is the last roll of dice for Mickey and the boys from the coast. They've got Martin and Parker back in there. They've won last.
The interesting one for me, Wardy, for Gold Coast is Jays Morris. Like, he didn't play the whole first half or third quarter, I don't think, either.
No.
Looked down, he was on the bench, he had a hoodie on, so whether he's been sick and
Yeah,
Coach Conlon's just saved him for the stretch.
Yep, no, it's an interesting move because it may be just to bring some energy, maybe when he's definitely fresh. So, but
Martin explores, finds Petrie on the kick out for the long 2. No good, but at Gold Coast get the board and miss on the putback.
And Morris was all over those boards. He kept it alive twice there. They didn't come up with it, but maybe that's what he's in there for, just to flat out hustle.
See a foul called here on Reese Martin.
That'd be his 4th now.
You're not taking those players out now, though.
No.
Game's on the line.
We're rolling the dice. It'll be interesting to see whether Conlon does, at what point he does concede. And I mean, they do have a game tomorrow, so does that come into calculations, or do they just play flat out here and see if they can steal something?
Great skip from Mines to Anderson for 3. It's no good, though.
They need to get on their bike here, the coast.
3.5 minutes to go, trailing by 13. It's now or never for the coast, you would think. And that turnover will not help things.
Wilshere with active hands knocks it loose.
And you would think Townsville's not going to take too many shots now that aren't deep in the shot clock. Move the ball on Wilshere, 5 seconds on the clock.
Oh, wow. That is a tough hoop. And Nick Conlon has seen enough. 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal. So it can happen, but they're going to have to pull something pretty. Here's Morris.
3 is over the top of the rim. Hits the back of the rim and for a violation off the top of the backboard.
Both coaches going with their starters and that though. They're not conceding on either side.
Almost a turnover there for Townsville. Good activity by Parker, but Vines gets the ball back. And again, we see them just working deep into the shot clock.
Good
Gold
hands
Coast.
by Parker.
Parker's open at the top. Oh, doesn't take the 3. Comes in for the pull-up 2 instead. No good, but just that pursuit of the ball ends up with a jump ball. It will be Townsville ball, however.
I love his effort. I mean, he's had a phenomenal game. 2 minutes to go. Game's probably gone for them, and he's still diving around, throwing himself on the floor.
And they're about to jump on a bus and drive to Cairns. So we mentioned that in the women's game. You know, speaking to the Gold Coast staff, you know, there's different ways to do this road trip, and they've decided to do the fly into Townsville today, day rooms only for the day, come and play the game. They're getting straight on the bus shortly to do the overnight trip up to Cairns, so that they're fresh for tomorrow night.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think you after a game, you're up and about anyway for a few hours, so you may as well make the most of that and get on the road. You're not losing too much, and then you don't. Tomorrow you can have a sleep. They can have sleep in, have a good rest, and get a bit of normality about their day. Come in fresh.
Left-hand hook shot, great from Matty Reese out of the low block.
Yeah. Hasn't had a huge impact tonight, but he's done enough, and his opposite number hasn't dominated, and there's Parker just adding to his personal tally.
Almost getting up to Carl Ward type numbers right now for Parker.
He's still got a few to go, mate.
Lane violation there by Townsville, so Parker will get another opportunity.
Up to 38. They're right, they've given it a good crack to Gold Coast. It's not an easy road trip, we know that. And they were in it for a long way.
Anderson's no good for 3. And Woodies, I'll ask you, so Townsville back-to-back champs. There's been a bit of thought process that this year they might drop off a little bit with that front court deficiency, perhaps. This performance, does this make a bit of a statement after the 2 losses that they've had? Both losses on the road, Cairns and Rocky.
Yep.
You're not...
and not bad losses by any stretch, like they were in that Rocky game. So, look, I think it gives us a bit of a lineup of that southern form, and like Gold Coast, you know, they've only lost the 1 game, so it just shows that the North is always strong, we know that.
Hope banks in a 3 just to rub salt into the wound.
When it's your night, and in Townsville, it's been their night tonight. But, look, I think it shows that Townsville are right in the mix again. I mean, there's nothing to say that they can't... that three-peat, that three-peat's definitely not out of the question. Now, I mean, I think Brisbane are pretty strong by the look of it, but, I mean, they've yet to travel
and without having a good look at the draw, I know when I spoke with Mick Conlon about their draw and how, you know, they've had a tougher start, he would have thought, and then their draw backs away. He sort of mentioned on the slide that Brisbane's probably been the other way, so...
Yeah, and that's right, and that's why it's very hard to line up the teams with the draw the way it is, but it definitely...
From all reports, Sam McKinnon's got them playing great basketball, though.
Jason Cadiz, they've got legit players, so there's nothing to suggest that they're false favourites up there or false ladder leaders at this stage. But I think until you've played everyone and had a good look, you're not going to know for sure where you sit. But
Parker takes his tally above 40 now. And so Townsville's going to come away with a 111-96 win over the Gold Coast Rollers in what has been a great display of basketball against two teams which I'm sure we're going to see at the pointy end of the season, both with a lot of talent, both with a lot of scoring. To be honest, I hope that the game's back here when they get to semi-finals or quarter-final time or whatever it is, because I'd love to watch these two teams go around again.
Yeah, no,